You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Now your hosts, Cody Pennick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that's ready to buy, sell, buy. I don't know how the stock market works. I'm Cody, and I'm going to invest all my assets into Consolidated Roth or IRA.
I'm Sam, and I just keep all my stuff in a mattress. I don't mean money, I mean everything. Just everything in a mattress.
And I'm the wolf that lives on Wall Street.
The werewolf on Wall Street.
I'd watch that.
I would too.
Cool.
That would be a good movie.
Like Teen Wolf all grown up.
Yeah, that sounds like a wolf cop style.
Yeah, it kind of does, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, hey, thank you all for tuning into the show this week. We have a great show for you. A bunch of news to go over. A lot of news that we are not qualified to talk about, but we're going to do our darndest. But we're going to get to that. But first, let's talk about some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
Come on, Cranky. Take it to the fridge.
Let's take this to the fridge, guys. So what do we want to start with? You want to just start with WandaVision?
Sure.
It's kind of the big one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one thing I think we've all watched.
Yeah. So we watched WandaVision, the new Marvel Disney Plus a limited series, I guess it'd be safe to say. It's not like it's not like The Mandalorian where they're planning on making multiple seasons, because honestly, I don't know how they could do multiple seasons of this when by the end of this season the conceit is going to be up.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
It really wouldn't work.
Yeah, the joke doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, so WandaVision, it is about the Scarlet Witch and the Vision from the Marvel's popular Marvel movies.
At least that version of the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they ever call her the Scarlet Witch in the MCU.
They did in Age of Ultron.
Oh, did they?
I believe so. No, they didn't. No, you're right. They didn't, because the way the rights worked, they could use the characters, but they couldn't be mutants, and they couldn't use the names.
That's right.
That's why the X-Men gets Quicksilver,
and we got Pietro.
And Wanda.
At some point, somebody's got to be, who is that scarleted witch?
Who is that witch with the scarlet? No. So what is this show about?
We don't know yet.
That's
a good way to put it.
That's a good point. The show on its front facing, it looks like it is a really interesting a pastiche of classic sitcoms.
Yeah, like the first two episodes are in black and white, minus a few splashes of color.
Mm-hmm. But set in different decades. The first one is definitely like Honeymooners and absolutely the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas
they straight up make like a Dick Van Dyke reference like in the opening.
Yeah, while the second episode is more
Bewitched.
Bewitched and early I Dream of Jeannie, that sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one's still a little bit Bewitched.
It's still a little bit Bewitched,
but it's also Brady's.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Bewitched went to color.
That's true.
After a while, so did I Dream of Jeannie.
And Darren became a completely different man.
He did become a complete. That would have been a great joke if for one episode the Vision is a different person.
Yeah,
they get Dick Sargent instead of Dick York.
Yeah. He's not Paul Bailey anymore.
Yeah, right.
Should just get another British actor in there.
Somebody else named Paul.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. But no, this show, it's amazing. It is kind of a slow burn, which I kind of enjoy.
Ooh, it's definitely in the crock pot.
Yeah. Oh, it's so refreshing to see them do something different with these characters.
Absolutely. I love the slow burn. I love the mystery with it. I mean, I being a comic fan, I know where this is going.
Yes.
But it's fun to see it kind of unravel in a way that is unique to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. And like each episode is, especially the first two, the black and white ones, are really goofy, really fun. But as
the third one's pretty goofy too.
Oh yeah. But like in a Brady kind of way.
Well, yeah.
But as the episodes go, there's definitely more suspense and more serious moments that are getting.
It's like real life is starting to seep into the.
Like they're getting more.
Okay,
Yeah,
at this
they all
point,
have this underlying layer of cynicism.
a little
and
bit, yeah,
darkness.
Although, to be honest, the darkness and cynicism kind of hits you on the head with a hammer, and much in the same way the action does with a lot of the Marvel stuff. There's not much. There's not much subtlety to this. There's only instead of completely unsubtle like action, it is like blunt force action. This is blunt force suspense.
Like the music changes, people's facial expressions change,
camera positions and lighting. Yeah. At this point should we say spoilers? Spoilers abound.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you don't have Disney Plus and if you have Disney Plus and you're not watching this is on you. This is spoiler territory.
Especially because these episodes are about 27 minutes apiece.
Even then, there's not a whole lot to spoil yet either.
Yeah, episode 3.
We don't really know for sure really anything.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be some spoilers and there's going to be some speculation. Let's put it that way, because I have speculation on quite a few things that might be what's happening.
Also,
but we'll see.
There are some deep cuts in in these like the background stuff in this show.
Oh yeah. So okay, let's say 5-10 minutes.
All right.
And then we'll cut, and then by then we'll be on to something else for folks who want to skip and come back. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So she's taken over a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that way.
If she hasn't taken it over, it's her prison.
No, I that could be one way of interpreting it. The way I'm seeing it is post Endgame, she has taken the body of the Vision to this small idyllic town and is forcing her televised, idealized television world view fantasy onto the Denzians of this small Midwestern town.
I don't think the town exists.
I think it does, and I think the people that are the other people like in the town are half mind wiped, half being puppeted around.
Mm-mm.
I think the real question is whether or not Wanda is doing it on purpose or doing it on accident.
I think that's going to be the big twist. I believe people are assuming that she's being manipulated, where I have a feeling the twist is going to be that, oh no, she knows exactly what she's doing.
Especially in like episode 1? No.
Episode 2, she physically rewinds
what happened.
The world.
No, she does it in 2 and 3.
And 3, there's like a skip. It's almost a skip in the tape.
I forgot she did that with the Vision, because he kind of had like a moment. And
then he
she
starts figuring it out.
And then she resets it and he completely changes what he says.
Which is why I believe she is actually puppeting around a broken, non-functioning Vision through all of this.
See, I don't know if that the whole thing about the town, because in episode 3, when you actually see the outside of the town, it looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. What parts you see of it?
Possibly, but I still think the people in the town are real people being.
But if you go into the names of a lot of these people, they are references.
Oh, Dr. Nelson is like Nelson Ratings from episode 3.
Herb is the High Evolutionary. Agnes is
Agatha Harkness.
The Arcana. Was that what her?
I think she always just went by Agatha Harkness. She was a witch.
Yeah, she is like Marvel's first witch.
Yes,
she's ancient.
Yes,
like, that's the other thing that makes me wonder if this is a prison for magical beings.
Well, there was a theory online that my dad actually talked to me about, because my folks have been watching this. They try to keep up with this stuff, and I mean they're not as
in the know.
And they're not at not to say in the know. They are not as dialed into like the minutia of this stuff as we are, because we're nerds. But they were talking to me about this, and the one theory that he had read online, and it kind of made me pause and kind of go, okay, I could kind of see it. The theory that not Agatha, but the other neighbor, the mean neighbor,
the blonde one.
Oh yeah,
who controls the committee or whatever.
That she
for the children.
That she is actually Mephisto, the Marvel's version of
the devil,
kind of, because of a couple of things, a way she was referred to in episode 2 about, devil's in the details and like this, that, and the other, because Mephisto, I can never say that correctly. Mephisto.
Kit Fisto.
Yes, Kit Fisto.
Aquatic Jedi, Kit Fisto.
That's right. He was, or they were integral in the Wanda having twins.
Yes.
Because he was using her to try to birth a couple of demons onto the mortal plane. Yes and no, right? More or less.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
I thought it was more like they were trying to create some kind of super being or something.
Something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
So the theory is she is being manipulated, but not like a lot of it is Wanda's own doing, but part of it is Mephisto.
Kind of like a House of M kind of thing.
Kind of. And Agatha is actually there going through the motions. She's aware of the reality of what is going on and is going through the motions to try to subtly combat Mephisto.
She seems self-aware in the show.
Does, especially episode 2 where they're going through and doing like the bridge club thing.
Yes.
And she's getting drunk and starting to act kind of out of character for a show of that time, saying how do people sit through this kind of dialogue, that sort of thing. So that's,
and also in episode 3 when she's talking to Herb and he's sitting there trying to say something and she keeps cutting him off.
She cuts him off and so she's
definitely aware.
Yeah. And the further into the Scarlet Witch's psychoses we go, I think the more cracks are going to start to show.
Oh, yeah.
And I think more and more is going to happen. Also, kudos on them bringing in Sword.
Sword was kind of teased at the end of Endgame.
Very little, yeah.
I mean, you really don't see what it's called, but you definitely see the Sword base in space.
Yeah. Although I know in the comics, Sword is the extraterrestrial arm of S.H.I.E.L.D., kind of.
Well, not just that.
It's like S.H.I.E.L.D., but for space.
Yeah, but it's still part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right. I wonder if this version of Sword is more magical, protection against magical.
I think in the MCU anyway, the Sword acronym.
The Ministry of Magic.
No. Yeah, right.
Well, instead of strategic world something, I think it's strategic weapons.
Weapons of maybe they're like people who are designated weapons of mass destruction because of their swarmed.
Well, see, that's what makes me wonder if this is a prison for maybe people they can't control.
Maybe.
Or some sort of program to reprogram them to be more pliable.
Maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
Because a theory I saw online, and it talked about episode 2 real heavy about them keep repeating that in unison in that weird separate wise kind of way. For the children. And the fact that the one lady that you think is Mephisto's husband is fired from his job that the Vision gets.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that maybe they were trying to create these children, these super children or whatever.
Maybe they were kind of for the children that kind of implanted the subconscious idea of, hey, maybe the Scarlet Witch should have a kid.
Well, no, I think it's more they were trying whatever they're trying to create, either some kind of super weapon or whatever. They failed, and Wanda and Vision are the next step to create what they want to create.
See, I don't know if I mean, I'll be interested to see where it goes, and if that's where it goes, that's interesting and different from the source material, certainly.
Well, yeah, because the original comic, Wanda and Vision, is what this is loosely based
very
on.
Incredibly loosely based on, which nice also deep pull, their magician names, Dazzle and Glimmer, are based on aliases that they took in Wanda and the Vision.
It was Illusion and Glamour.
Illusion and Glamour. Sorry, yeah, I have a bad memory for that kind of stuff. Directly pulled from the old Wanda and the Vision comic.
Yes.
So,
but who will trigger the Human Instrumentality Project?
I also think that the babies are going to age incredibly rapidly.
Oh yeah, by the time they hit Roseanne,
You'll have teens.
you're gonna have teens. You're gonna have sassy teens.
With probably powers.
Probably.
We got to be close to our 5 minutes.
We'll do 2 more minutes of this, and then we got to move on.
I mean, we can speculate all day long because there's not enough information.
Yeah.
But also, there's the sword logo all over everything.
Mm-hmm. Geraldine
is...
or Monica Rambeau.
Mm-hmm, the daughter of...
Captain Marvel's best friend.
Yep. Who is obviously some kind of agent.
Yep, she was a teen. She was a kid in Captain Marvel, but it's the same character.
Yes.
As an adult now.
Yep.
Randall Park is supposed to show up. They've been saying they think that he's the one that's been calling it over the speaker, saying, Wanda, can you hear me? Who's doing this to you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's Randall Park from Ant-Man.
Kat Dennings Darcy's supposed to show up too.
She is too.
I couldn't really tell with the voice over the radio, but some people were wondering if it was Agent
Coulson.
No, the goofy Asian guy that was in
Randall Park.
Oh, is that the same guy?
Same guy.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, he was in a romantic comedy called Always Be My Maybe on Netflix. It's actually really good. It's actually really, really good.
And then there's like all the weird little references in the little
Strucker timepiece.
Yeah, the Strucker timepiece.
Hydra Wash.
The Hydra Wash.
That was a good one. That was clever.
That was a really good one.
The Stark Toaster.
Stark Toaster. The Grim Reaper. Not the physical manifestation of death, but like the Marvel villain. His helmet is in the animated intro for the Bewitched episode.
I love that animated intro too.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, that was a really good animation.
Also, did you notice in the black and white portions of WandaVision, when Vision changed his face from human face to regular Vision face, it did like that weird Bewitched sparkle.
Yeah.
But when you get to the 70s part of it, it actually did the full...
Yeah.
Like...
Because special effects have gotten a little better as they go. He had to paint himself blue for the black and white episodes because the red didn't show up on the black and white cameras.
That's funny.
Much like Tobias Funke.
Yeah. Is Vision a never nude?
He might be a never nude. Or
he might not have a choice because he's a robot.
Yeah. Although I guess he does kind of create his own clothing with his hologram projector, so he might be an always nude.
True.
Yeah. All right, so I think we've hit our time on the...
We're starting to get Brody Bruce about it
a little bit, yeah. Let's move on from that. I actually have a couple more checkums. So I went on a tear of very bad Amazon Prime movies.
Oh, there's a lot of those. Amazon
Prime. Okay, so for the different movie like apps like Hulu and Netflix, Amazon Prime seems to be the one that most closely resembles going to your video rental place on a Friday night and just picking something based on the VHS box. Because
I think the barrier of entry to Amazon Prime is there moving images and sound.
Does it hit an hour?
Yeah.
Even that's not even that strictly like regulated. No, but so one movie I watched was called A Fight of Fury.
That sounds really familiar.
It was made in 2020 by a Nepalese kung fu master named Shuni B. It's hard to explain. A lot of movies get compared to The Room, and most of them are unfair comparisons.
Most of the things that are compared to The Room are nothing like The Room.
They're nothing like The Room. This might be the closest to action movie The Room. This is more of a ego-driven self-insert I am the best hero of all time ever movie than Miami Connection.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a one-man army against
trafficking?
Trafficking. Yeah. Trafficking.
Wait, so this is Taken?
Yes and no. I mean,
that's pretty much the story of Taken.
It is kind of Taken. However, a lot was Taken completely overdubbed. It's shot in Los Angeles, so it's not, so everyone's speaking English, but it's clear that they filmed it without audio and went back and dubbed everything afterwards.
Oh no.
And does your lead try to put on a Sylvester Stallone accent while also having a Nepalese accent. Does your lead character in Taken also espouse like big, heady, like
Confucius
style, like big long paragraphs and big long speeches every scene that he's in about being the best and doing what is right and everything? If man were to become human, that would be a pretty cool thing. That is a direct line from this movie.
Confucius say, man standing on toilet high on pot.
That's good. That's good. It has one of the most frustrating endings I've ever seen because they wanted to set it up for a sequel. So instead of having a cliffhanger, the movie just ends. At one point, halfway through the movie, the villain kidnaps Shuni B's daughter, of which also this movie is an ego project for his daughter because his daughter also does a lot of kung fu, which is cool. It's cool to see. And I mean, they are both technically competent fighters. It's not like it's bad. I mean, their punches are missing by a mile, but that's because they have no stage choreography acting. They are like practical martial artists.
So this isn't like, like Shatner karate chopping people.
No. This is someone who really knows how to throw a punch to hit and hurt, missing by a mile because they don't want to hit or hurt anyone.
The stuntmen.
Yeah. So the daughter gets kidnapped. 5 scenes later,
even though she's good at karate, yeah. 5 scenes later, Shuni B decides I should probably do something about it. He nunchucks a guy to death, and then the movie ends.
Nunchucks a guy to death
without saving his daughter.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It's incredibly frustrating because it's like, why? I think I yelled no why when the movie ended because it was so frustrating.
Now I'll find you, daughter. Boom,
Credits.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Yeah.
Wait, it's a JoJo?
It kind of ends. Yeah, it just got very abrupt. Yeah. The last thing, and I can't talk about this much because I did not actually finish it, is very rarely am I defeated by a bad movie.
Ooh, this must be a real stinker.
It is called Phobe, the Xenophobic Project, and it is a
Xenophobic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is about an alien who is actually a Canadian man in a ghillie suit with a fake laser gun, wandering around like some kind of jerk in the wilderness. And this overweight Canadian guy who is an alien man, bounty hunter, who is on Earth trying to stop them. It is severely, severely Canadian. It was made for a grand total of $250.
Is this Canadian dollars?
It's Canadian dollars.
Oh, so it's worth less.
Canadian $1991.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is with an asterisk. It actually would have cost about $5,000, but the woman who wrote, directed, and produced the film worked for a local UHF or Canadian equivalent UHF television station.
UAF.
Yeah, I like it. And used all of their film equipment after hours over the span of like 3 years. So people have very different lengths of mullet, and they all have mullets. There is a scene where the lead is like giving his big speech about how he has to, and I'm going to interpret best I can. He has to go find the alien and take him back to his planet. That's the delivery style.
Sorry.
Just so bored. Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. I have about 20 minutes left of it. I promise I will finish it someday. But right now, I have better things to do.
There's like straight up fan made sequels to Manos. On Amazon.
I bet. Yeah.
They're bad.
Yeah.
Wow, that movie sounds terrible.
Oh, it is. It is just the worst. And yeah, like the villain is a man in a ghillie suit. One of those like yeah. And he is wearing a laser or paintball or like laser tag helmet. He's like the world's worst Roman, the robot monster. It's just the worst.
Oh,
it's just the worst.
That sounds like an awful stinker.
Yeah.
I watched Kong Skull Island the other day.
Oh yeah, how was
I
it?
figured I should catch up for Godzilla versus Kong.
For the big fight.
Yeah.
Let them fight.
I thought it was good. I mean, it wasn't.
I really like Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie.
I haven't watched it. I need to watch it.
It wasn't like smart or anything, but the big monkey did a punch a lot, and that's all I really wanted.
Yeah, well, that's
And Samuel L. Jackson is like the angriest army man ever.
Yeah.
Man, he is a rageful dude.
His entire character is, I'm mad that we didn't win Vietnam.
wow. Okay,
I mean,
all right. That's a way to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then John Goodman's in it too.
Yeah.
So is John C. Reilly, right?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, John C. Reilly is very good in it too.
He's a World War II veteran who's trapped on a Pacific island, who's been there since the war.
Is there a Kring Krong on that planet? Jack Frot.
Jack Frot. There was at least 3 Kring Kongs at one point.
Jackpot.
But he is really funny in it
Yeah.
because he's the loopy guy that's been stuck on an island since 1940 and it's now 1970. Like,
Yep. He has like moments of like clarity, and then he seeps right back into like isolation weirdness.
but he's incredibly friendly though.
Oh yeah,
also.
but he's not. But he wasn't like in true isolation though, because he was basically living with that tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he get any sushi on that planet?
What do we have here? The building blocks of shishi. Shishi meat, peaches, and guacamole.
I would assume so. I bet they ate.
I mean,
yeah.
he did befriend a Japanese guy.
It's true.
Oh, he might have had some sushi.
He crash lands on the island, and this is the very beginning of the movie, with a Japanese soldier, and I guess
They
become
hate each other, but then they become friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But also because the island is like Australia to 11.
Yes.
So
Yeah, Kong's not the only giant monster on this island. Naturally, I think the original movie did it have other giant monsters?
There's a
There was a
spider.
dinosaur.
There's a spider and a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Cool.
now there's a big stick bug. There's
nice.
a big water buffalo, and I'm not
I think there's like a big mosquito too, or something.
some kind of bug. There's
Yeah.
a lot of real big monsters and cool fight scenes. Like,
Well, fantastic.
And also, Kong is stupid huge.
yeah, he's real big and real cool. And,
Like he stands above the trees, and like the trees are like really big trees, and they stop at like mid calf.
That's awesome.
he's
He's
big. He's big monkey, and he's cool and tough.
Speaking of big monkeys that are cool and tough, I've been playing the Donkey Kong Country series.
Oh, nice.
I just beat 1, and I'm like into the second area in 2.
Cool. Still hold up?
Oh, yeah.
First one, definitely. There were some parts, especially late game, where I was like, this is stupid hard. This is stupid hard.
The one with the barrels that light on fire, and you got to jump across them. That is a nightmare.
I didn't really have too hard that one. The ones I had the hardest time with were like, for some reason, the one where you're riding the track that you have to constantly gas up.
Oh yeah, you got to hit the fuel barrels to
Yeah.
keep the
That one got me real hard. And then there was one where I kept dying right at the end because of a stupid claptrap coming out of the stupid exit door. And no matter how many times I prepared for it. Oh, it's the same one with the stop and go barrels on the rock.
Oh, rock monster.
The rock
like-
croc.
Yeah,
Second one,
is the best one.
it's very good, but at the same time, I'm to the point. I'm like, this is almost too easy. But again, it's the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it gets harder.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I remember.
Come back to it after you've done like Bramble Scramble.
Ooh, that one's the worst. But I also forgot how fun it is to play as Dixie Kong.
Oh, yeah. She's a lot of fun. That float.
Yeah, where they're floating, helicopter hair. And,
Yep.
Like, I don't want. Anytime I have to be Diddy, I'm like, I don't want to be Diddy. But I also really enjoy the music in 2. Like the.
Oh,
I mean, I love the
music.
I love the
gets-
music in all
yeah.
of them, but
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, it's
2's
very good.
music is real good.
Yeah.
It's got the piratey music.
Oh, of course.
Hey, I hate to cut you off, but
That's
we got to
fine.
take a break.
That's fine.
And when we come back, we'll get into some news.
Hey, we're back. That was Gang-Plank Galleon remix from Super Smash Brothers.
It's a great track.
Yeah, King K. Rool's theme.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they put him in the game.
Oh,
He's
me
such a
too.
good character.
He's a
He has a
very
lot of fun to play.
character to play.
He's probably one of my I guess.
Main?
Yeah.
Is that your main?
I wouldn't say he's my main, but he's up there. He's up there in a character that I pick a lot.
Yeah.
He's definitely my top 3, probably.
Yeah. Before we get into the news and everything, top 3 Smash characters that we play as.
Banjo,
Okay.
K. Rool, Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario?
Dr. Mario.
That's a good list. I have Ganondorf, Bowser, and I'm actually pretty good with a Game & Watch.
Actually, I've really been into Bowser too. At least back when the game came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think they powered him up a little bit.
I think they did, yeah. Josh?
DK,
Okay.
Bowser,
Yeah.
K. Rool.
There you go. There we go. We like the heavy boys on this at Nerd Overload. Anyway, let's get into some news.
This one's for you, Marv.
I don't know. I just picked one. This one's for you, Morph.
You can't go wrong with 90s X-Men.
That's right.
It's so cheesy, and I love it.
They're taking over my mind. I love it.
It's on Disney Plus now.
It is. All 5 seasons. Don't watch that 5th season. They shipped the animation to somewhere. It wasn't
the cheapest possible place, wherever it was.
Yeah, because they wanted to hit 100 episodes. Yeah.
Gotta get that syndication.
That's right. So let's get into some news. And you know what? We've been talking about King Kong. We've been talking about Donkey Kong. Let's talk about some Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh no, here goes the news. Go, go, Godzilla.
Almost the song this
Wow.
week.
I know.
Very close. Wow. It's like the Blue Oyster Cult is right here in the
Yeah.
office. Yeah.
You definitely committed to that one.
All right. So, so anyway, there's a trailer for Godzilla versus Kong, the culmination of this, I guess, 3 or possibly 4
At
movie.
least 3 movies.
3. Well, this will be number 4.
Yeah,
technically.
it's the 4th film. Yep.
Yeah.
Because
This 4 movie trilogy.
it all started with Kong Skull Island.
No.
Yes.
No, Godzilla.
Godzilla was first.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, that's right, because they snuck in the Godzilla part at the end of Kong, and no one knew that it was going to be a tie-in.
What?
What?
No, I'm pretty sure Kong.
No,
No.
it was the Gareth Edwards Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Then
Yeah,
it was Kong.
Then it was Kong Skull Island. And then Godzilla King of Monsters.
Yes, and now this one.
And now Godzilla versus Kong, where they go 7 rounds in the squared circle.
Before we weigh in on this trailer, you got to pick one.
Oh, I picked Godzilla.
Yeah, same.
I mean,
they definitely said there is going to be a defined winner in the film.
is it Mothra? Is the winner Mothra?
It should be.
Is the winner the audience?
Oh yeah. Well, we don't know if that's true or
Well,
not yet.
That's
hey,
true.
I'm hoping it is like, just mindless destruction like the first Pacific Rim, because I love that cheesy movie.
Yes.
I will be more accepting of the fact that it's mindless destruction because it's Godzilla and Kong,
Uh-huh.
which I wasn't so much for Pacific Rim because I wanted more out of that film.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I hope there is more destruction and less of the boring human parts. And typically I am the type of person that is like, no, give me some of the grounding. Give me a little bit of meat on that.
You can still
on
look
that
at
bone,
Shin Godzilla.
but
That's almost all human parts.
All people. And that's
it's a
fine.
Fantastic film.
But historically, the Godzilla movies, the human element is the worst, most boring part.
Definitely in the first one.
Absolutely in the first one.
I mean,
although the Mutos were pretty bad too.
Yeah, but
I thought you were talking about like
No.
the
I'm talking
first.
No. I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about black and white. I'm talking about the 2014.
No, the original Godzilla was great because Raymond Burr was in it.
Only in that version.
Yeah, if you're watching that version and not Gojira.
Listen, his
is
name
what they call it.
His name in the movie was Steve Martin.
And he's a wild and crazy guy.
He was a wild and crazy guy.
Yeah, but they completely cut out the cool Japanese scientist with the eye patch.
Well, that's true, but also it's Perry Mason. It's Perry Mason, you guys.
And-
you ever watch any old Perry Mason? It's freaking great.
My only reference for Perry Mason is the Ozzy song.
Yeah, no.
No,
Perry
No, he's
Mason's
got-
great though.
Yeah, I know the song you're talking about.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway,
So,
Godzilla vs. Kong. The trailer looked pretty amazing.
Yeah.
There is plenty of Kong and or Godzilla action.
Yep.
Godzilla does a fire breath, and Kong has some kind of axe.
Yep.
The fire breath is my main point on why Godzilla would win. Because
he has a projectile.
Breath. Yeah.
Yeah, he spams projectile. This is like a Ryu versus Zangief type situation. Yeah, the just spam fireball until your life bar is depleted.
I don't care how many 100 hand slaps you do, King Kong. That's not a Zangief move. That's E-Honda.
That's E-Honda, yeah. You could have said Atomic Pile Driver, but,
he's not going to get
Golden
close
Lariat.
enough to
not
do.
going to get close enough. Yeah.
Golden Lariat.
Listen, no one can do a standing 720. That's just impossible.
Oh, also the fact that it looks like maybe Godzilla actually heads to actual Tokyo in one of
Fine.
the scenes.
That's cool. I hope the battle wages across the globe. Like, they're so big and they're running and they're just
Everywhere.
They're just all over the place fighting.
And there's a solid hour where they're underwater and nobody can see them.
And that's where you can fit all of the boring human parts.
I mean, that's
where everyone could take a nap, go to the restroom, get free for the popcorn.
That's the 2014 Godzilla.
Well, that too. I'm saying they could do it here too.
That's like 90% of the movie is either them swimming or them running in the dark.
I mean, listen, guys, they could put it all together at once. We're going to be watching it at home. You could just fast forward that stuff.
It's true.
I did like the fact that they made Kong look older.
Yeah,
than
that
he
was
does
nice.
in Skull Island.
Mm-hmm. An older, more dignified
Yes.
Kong.
Yes.
Gentleman Kong.
Gentleman Kong.
I like the red Windsor knot tie that
Yes.
he wears.
That is very good. Yes, yes.
But where are you going to find a barrel that big?
Yeah,
though?
is he going to get a real big barrel?
Yeah, that would be great if that actually happened, though. If he threw something kind of like a barrel.
In the trailer, it looks like they kind of are maybe possibly setting up the recreation of the scene from the original Kong versus Godzilla, where he
was a robot.
No, with the tree.
Oh yeah,
because the part in the trailer where Kong grabs a tree and rips all the branches off of it
and starts beating him with it.
Well, he does that in Skull Island too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in the Kong versus Godzilla, he grabs that thing and tries to shove it down Godzilla's throat.
Yeah.
No, I'm all for this. Give me big monster punch.
I like if it was in theaters, I might have seen it. But since I can watch it on HBO Max, nothing will stop me from seeing it.
Exactly.
At no added cost.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't know if I'd pay, $14 to go see this, but I will definitely pay no dollars.
I feel kind of bad because this does seem like one of the few movies that would benefit from the large screen and the massive surround sound.
Oh, yeah.
Just from the atmosphere and the sound and everything. I'm not going to go to a theater to see it.
No.
But if theaters were open and it were safe to do so, I would potentially shell out the extra
I
coin.
have watched every one of these films in theater, I think.
I mean, I would go, but it's one of those where I really want to go see it, but if something came up and I never ended up seeing it, it wouldn't have broken my heart type of situation.
No, that makes sense.
And then there's the whole weird axe thing he has, and I don't think he makes that. I think it's something he finds, because I think it might be left over from
a found equipable item.
Yeah. A legendary artifact, if you will.
Yeah, there we go. Made out of the spine of maybe another Godzilla.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you see in the trailer, and he does this flying overhead monkey chop thing, and Godzilla's using his atomic breath, but it's being absorbed by the axe head.
That's pretty rad.
That's the only way they could make it a fair fight is by giving King Kong a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That whole ape using tools thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. And
Godzilla's going to be the anthill he sticks the stick in.
I saw an image on Twitter that somebody tweeted that it said reasons Godzilla fans think Godzilla will win, and it's a whole bunch of big block of text. And the other side it says reasons Kong fans think Kong will win.
Big monkey.
Big monkey.
Yeah, that seems about right. But I mean, he is a big monkey.
Yeah, I mean that's the part of me that was enjoying Kong Skull Island was the part going big monkey.
All right, so hey, let's go ahead and move on to some other stuff. I know we talked about we're gonna talk about this whole GameStop stocks thing, but let's get a few of the quick hits out of the way because I have a feeling this GameStop thing is going to take up a lot of time.
If we can even figure out how to explain it.
We got to work our way up to it. So we just talked about a movie that we are looking forward to. Let's talk about a TV show that we are not looking forward to.
Oh, it's a show?
It is a show. It is a it's like a Netflix or Hulu original show that they want to do. The Early Adventures of Willy Wonka, called Wonka.
Oh, great. So we get, the origin of Wonka meeting the Oompa Loompas.
We don't need any of it.
No.
It does not need to exist.
Especially since they kind of delve into that in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And it was awful.
Yes, that movie stinks.
That was that wasn't the worst part of that movie, but that was a bad part of that movie.
Don't touch that squirrel's nuts.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, terrible.
Oh, awful.
Right?
Disgustingly
Not just
awful.
me. I mean,
I hate that movie.
I mean, the only good thing about that movie was Christopher Lee being cast as Willy Wonka's dad. Because that is kind of a cool dichotomy, but even at that was kind of awful.
I mean, I kind of liked the evolution of music genres from the Oompa Loompa,
but it was so generic sounding.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't know.
I like Deep Roy as
Deep Roy. That was
Loompa.
That was pretty good.
I liked Kiss Oompa Loompa.
That was pretty funny.
Some of the visuals were
okay,
kind of neat.
But the movie as a whole is just terrible.
Yeah.
It's a terrible movie.
Anyway, this show or miniseries or what have you is supposed to be
travesty.
Travesty, yes, absolutely.
War crime.
Is going to be is reportedly going to be delving into the history, the childhood of Willy Wonka up until the beginning of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
We don't need to explain everything.
Not everything needs explained.
Ooh, look at see how he finds this stupid elevator.
He's going to have some kind of dark past that is... He's made him mentally broken or something. It's dumb. And listen, no, not everything needs explained. The biggest charm of Willy Wonka is that he is an unknown quantity.
He's aloof and mysterious.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't be aloof and mysterious if you know every single minute detail of his backstory.
I don't care about Willy Wonka's man pain past.
Yeah.
I like the
I
fact
don't care. Yeah.
I like the fact that is he human? Is he some kind of trickster god? What is he? I don't care.
Is he 3 Oompa Loompas in a Willy Wonka costume? Who knows?
Is he a Time Lord? I don't know.
That's what makes it fun. And also, yes, probably. I mean, that glass elevator, probably it's hardest.
Probably, yes. I agree. I agree with that.
It's not bigger on it's the same size on the inside.
Yep.
It's a malfunctioning TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yep. So, moving on, there was also a trailer.
It's the size you would expect on the inside.
Mm-hmm. He's a Time Lord with very little imagination comparatively.
He's a time duke at best.
Yes. Okay, so if you are any type of adult that follows stock markets or
just been on the internet in the last
24 hours or so, you've noticed that there have been some crazy things happening with a couple of different companies' stocks. GameStop, AMC Theater, BlackBerry, there were a couple others.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah. So the common theme are stocks that for businesses that are
that have been historically low,
failing. They're low. They're slowly on the way out.
They've either been hurt really bad by the pandemic or they're just kind of obsolete.
Yeah, like
GameStop or BlackBerry.
Yeah,
GameStop
exactly.
was both.
Yeah.
Yes. So and before we get into this, again, we are not financial experts.
I'm not the Mad Money man.
I don't. Bulls and bears, they both frighten me. I don't know.
We know more about Kramer from Seinfeld than the Kramer stock man.
Yes.
I forget what his name. Something Kramer.
But yeah, I don't even.
The Mad Money guy that yells and rings bells and is obnoxious.
Yeah. Also, anything we talk about, if you listen to this and go, "Oh, this sounds like a great idea. I should jump into it." By the time you hear this, it is past.
Jim Kramer.
Okay. So this is all speculative.
If you ever hear us say something and then you go, "That's a good idea. I should probably do that."
It's already passed.
Well,
the time has passed.
Probably don't.
Probably don't. Also, yes. But anyway, so there is a thing called hedge funds. Well, that's not where I want to start with this. Let me back that up. Stocks were low for GameStop.
Like for a while.
For a long time.
Like $2 a share.
Like very, very low. And there was a Reddit subgroup.
Also a Discord.
A Discord
called Wall Street Bets.
Wall Street Bets, where they kind of noticed this. And just on a lark, just for the lulz, just as a joke, they decided, hey, let's pump a whole bunch of money and buy up a whole bunch of these stocks and crank up the price of the GameStop stocks and the stocks in a couple of other... For time's sake, we're going to say GameStop, but we also mean like AMC, BlackBerry, that sort of thing.
It's mostly GameStop.
Mostly GameStop. So they did that, and the stock went from around $2 a share
to over $300
at one point.
Share.
Yeah, it was up over $400. It's like topped out at $489 a share, which is kind of insane. And the reason this is important, I mean, just coming off of that, it's be like, oh, okay, hey, that's great for GameStop, right?
And great for people who had GameStop stock.
Yeah, like it means they're getting more money for their thing. You know, why? The reason people are kind of losing their mind over this, there is a thing called hedge funds, which I have had about 4 different people try to explain to me, and a former guest of the show, Jordan Taylor, has gotten the closest, and I commend her for it. Okay, I think I'm a reasonably smart guy, but when it comes to the stock market, my brain just glazes over, and I just do not. My brain refuses to sink in. So I'm going to say something and tell me where I'm wrong, because I'm going to be wrong. So hedge funds are people who have a low stock and assume that it's going to keep dropping.
It sounds like a kind of bush to me.
Well, yeah, that too. It's where you keep all your money.
Yeah, it's
your hedge fund.
It's a bush that you hide money in.
Yep, it's your hiding bush. Yeah. Anyway, so it's these rich people who have stocks in very low performing things that they assume it's going to continue to drop because of just trends. So they say, okay, these hedge fund managers say, okay, we're going to borrow this stock, do something with it, in the assumption that it's going to keep dropping. Next step, question mark.
Profit.
Profit.
It's called quick sales.
Quick sales. Yes, I've heard that term used. Again, brain just smooth as glass. I don't.
We might as well be trying to explain to you a sport.
I can do a sport.
Yeah, that's true.
I can do a sport. I can't do a stock.
So basically, I don't know much about stock market either, but I've been reading a lot about this situation.
Yes.
What I'm saying is we're not qualified for this.
Yeah.
Again, true.
Okay.
But basically what happened was you had these hedge funds, these organizations, these companies, these financial companies that basically make a game of this all the time, of buying these low stocks, selling them immediately. But because they didn't buy them, they borrowed them.
They can pay back the person they're borrowing them from, and they make a little money off the side.
They make a little money because they are planning on paying the low price of the downward trending stock.
Right.
So
but because the stock all of a sudden has
shot up, they called it to the moon.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Basically, people who benefit from this, they called it a miracle trade. A long-standing, low-performing stock, all of a sudden just gangbusters, money out the door, right?
Right.
Well, basically what's happening is all these hedge fund people who, make a sport or basically gambling with this.
Yeah, it's gambling.
They're making money off the failures of these businesses.
Yes, they're making money off
right.
Not just the failure of these businesses, but because the way they do the trades and with these particular stocks, it hurts the value.
Yes. They're destroying the business while also making money off of the failure of the business.
Yes, they are artificially manipulating the stock market.
They're like little fish that are eating bits of the whale as it's dying and sinking to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. But because the stock was increased so much, the people who have the hedge funds are now losing their butt because they have to pay back
the
negative
instead
price.
of
They have to pay
yeah.
back the negative equity of what they borrowed.
Basically, they're losing a load of money.
Yes. And
Like-
there are people that are not happy about it.
Oh, no.
But most of those people are Wall Street fat cat alleged turds.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is all above board. This is all kind of
It
a
is
very
legal.
legal thing to do just because, and people are mad because the stocks
normal
aren't
people do
playing. Yeah, because normal people are doing it, and the hedge fund people are mad because, one, they're losing a bunch of money, and two, it seems like they are, oh, you're not playing the game right. It's like someone who comes in and plays a board game with the house rules, and when you start winning with the house rules, someone says you're not playing it right. You're not doing it right.
Well, remember that guy on Jeopardy that would hunt and pick for the Daily Doubles?
Yes, that
Instead
yes.
of playing straight down the line like everybody else.
And people got so mad at him.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Right. Yeah, he knew the statistics. You wouldn't find the Daily Doubles in the top row or the bottom row, so he would just hunt and peck to kind of keep people on their toes and try to find that. Yeah. Kind of similar thing here. Also, what... Okay, so regular people are actually making a lot of money off of this. Mm-hmm. And by the time this airs, the opposite side of this is going to happen, where they're all going to, from what I understand, they're all going to sell in mass as well so that they can make as much money as possible, which, again, good on them. Stock market, great.
Well, I think they've pretty much already been selling. They've been selling. And that's where the next part of the story comes.
Despite a lot of the apps.
Yes.
And stuff. Yeah.
Particularly an app called Robinhood.
Robinhood. There were Ameritrade's another one.
Ameritrade was another one that it happened on. These are both stock trading apps. Robinhood turns out to be owned by a hedge fund.
Yeah. So they are actively trying to stop people from doing what they want to do, which is
they're
illegal.
They're not making the game fair because they're stopping trade for just about everybody. But from what I've read, there are some people that I think they're kind of in the know, almost like inside trading, are still able to perform the duties as designed, which is unfair because they're freezing trades on everyone else.
And this is getting so far into the weeds that, like, this is beyond even what
And then there's like a bunch of guys running around on the floor, and they've got long strips of paper in their hands.
Got one of those green visors.
And they're screaming. And,
buy, sell.
And there's like monitors on the wall, and there's text scrolling by, and like it's just madness.
But now it's acquiring congressional attention. It's
what Robinhood did.
It's what Robinhood is doing.
Yeah. Right. Well, anyway, this is a whole big thing, and it's probably going to get even weirder.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bunch of people on Reddit proved that the stock market is fake, and it's all monopoly money.
It's all fake numbers that are manipulated by the upper elite.
It's the way for rich people to make more, to take their ton of money and turn it into more money without actually having to do anything.
And the funny thing is like some of the memes coming out about it.
Oh, that's great.
Is like
it's like honey.
Yeah.
I just
it's like people saying like
sweet ambrosia.
Drip it directly into my mouth. Nom, 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 nom. Feed me those memes.
You can't call yourself Robin Hood, but then stop when the actual Robin Hood's things are happening.
Yeah. Oh, taking from the rich, giving to the poor? Not us here at Robin Hood. No, I don't know how much else we could talk about this thing because
it's an ever evolving situation,
and I'm sure we're gonna have more. We're gonna have a follow up next week or in 2 weeks or what have you.
Not me, because once the stock I got takes off, I'm out of here. You're never gonna see me again.
That's fair. That's fair.
And also the fact that Elon Musk called it game stonks.
Elon Musk. He's a guy.
Also, he's a rich dude who just keeps getting richer.
Yeah,
he is the richest dude.
Yeah, he's actually
technically
he has surpassed
Bezos,
that dragon Bezos.
Yeah,
but his wife is my favorite riverboat captain.
Huh?
I've told you that story about Grimes.
Oh yes, yes, you have told me that story about Grimes. Yes. All right.
Are they married? They're not married.
They're not married.
His girlfriend is my favorite riverboat captain.
All right, so hey, let's go ahead and wrap things up. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can also find our financial advice and our stock predictions
No,
on...
you can't.
No, yeah.
Absolutely not. You can find everything except financial advice.
Yeah. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Nerd Overload now.
Staff at nerdoverload.com is our email address if you want to email us a question, comment, or stock.
Don't know.
No, maybe don't do that.
We got to have money to buy stock.
Give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. That's 586-372-8020. Put those numbers in your phone in that order, and you will hit our voicemail, and you can leave us a message.
And we might play it on the air. Hey, do you like t-shirts? We haven't talked about t-shirts in a long time. We do have t-shirts still. Go to bit.ly/nerdoverloadtee, and you can get some shirts.
Please, my house is full of shirts. I need them out. No,
Yeah.
we don't actually have stock on hand.
Thank God.
I own some of them. They are quite nice.
They are nice.
Yes.
They cover the bod very nicely. You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com.
Thank you.
So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Stonks.
Sell.
Bye.